What's up everyone, it's Kyle from Color Expression, back with another swatch and review. Today we're looking at the new Holo Taco Magnetic Magic collection, which is 5 new magnetic nail polishes. This is the first time that Holo Taco has actually released magnetic polish, so I'm excited to check these ones out with you guys. If you don't really know much about magnetic polish, you can check out my All About Magnetics video, which goes over different application methods, different types of polish, kind of how they work, and just anything you could want to know about magnetic nail polish is in that video. These shades will be a permanent part of the Holo Taco lineup, so if they sell out, they will be restocked. You can currently grab the whole collection as a set with the limited edition collector's box for $75 USD. That does include a magnetic wand, or you can also grab the shades individually for $15 USD. And Holo Taco does include one free magnetic wand in any order that you buy a magnetic nail polish with. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe with notifications turned on so you're never missing out on the new Holo Taco or nail polish content. Alright, let's head on to the swatches. First up, we'll take a look at Fairy Tale, which is this sort of nudie brown magnetic polish. All of the shades in this collection do have these little scattered holo glitters as well, so you get some variation in the shape and size of those, which once we apply the magnet, you'll get to see the effect of that a little bit better. But for all of these swatches, I did apply the first coat with no magnet, then the second coat we come in with a little bit more polish than maybe you would usually do, and the reason for that is just to help it stay a little bit wetter once we apply the coat and then have time to put the magnet over the nail. So we'll do that for about 30 seconds, and then once you pull it away, you can see the pigment has all sort of centered in that one orientation however you held the magnet, and then on the rest of the nail you're getting this deep sort of brown void, and it's full of that holo sparkle. And because we did the two coats, that holo is layered up, and I feel like this one creates a really nice effect. We don't really get a duochrome with this pigment too strongly, but there is a slight shift over to gold that you can see here. Next up, we have Love Spell, and this one is a pretty deep magenta sort of pinky base. The magnetic pigment in this one, I would say head on, it looks pretty pink here, and I'm not sure if it's actually pink itself or if that's just the very pigmented base color in here making that light up pink. But when this one shifts over in the light, we do get a shift over to this pretty strong orange color. So you'll see that in a moment on the full hand. But as for the application, we did our first coat, no magnet. This coat we are going in a little bit thicker, and we will use the magnet over the nail for 30 seconds. Of course, this one also has that holo sparkle, so you can see once the magnet sort of pulls all those pigments, you get this really deep and beautiful depth on the rest of the nail. You get this holo glitter layered by some of the pink in the second coat, and I really did like the finished look of this one. And like I mentioned, you can see that shift over to the orange in the shot here, and I thought that was a nice touch. Next up is Wicked Potion, which is the green of this collection. You can see we're getting this nice sort of deep and foresty green, which I did really like the sort of tone that was chosen for this color. As we apply it, you can see that magnetic pigment almost has this golden glow. I feel like I was getting a bit of some sort of like golden orange in here, and then as this one shifts over at the more extreme angles, you'll get some blue and then a little bit of purple at the most extreme, which was hard to get that one on camera. And you can see in the second coat I did put a little bit too much polish, so I'm just pulling some of that off so we can get a nice even coat. We don't want too much, but we want just enough. Once we apply the magnet, you can see how that line centers, and we get that depth again with that holo glitter. And I feel like the fact that the glitters themselves are in multiple different sizes really added to the effect. I feel like if they were one uniform size, it would have still been pretty, but it just is something about all those different sizes of holo gives such a nice dimension on the nail. It is very pretty. Next up, we have Twice in a Blue Moon, which is this sort of spacey blue nail polish. I felt like the magnetic pigment in this one, it might be silver in the blue base, or it might actually be a little bit blue here. I truly cannot tell. And then it does actually shift over to a purple when you see it at a more extreme angle. So I liked the duochrome effect of this polish. Of course, we're getting those scattered holo glitters in here as well, but I did feel like of the collection, this one was probably the most tough to get the magnetic effect to work with. So you can see that line just, it wasn't as strong, and I did try a few different methods and sort of had that same result. So the polish in general is very pretty, though I do feel like it's not the strongest magnetic I've ever used. So I just wanted to point that out in case you're a first-time magnetic user and you're like, why is this not working for me? It might not be you. Rounding out the collection, we will take a look at Queen's Curse, which I actually replaced the brush in this one with a Holo Taco wide brush that they sell on their site, because I felt like when applying these, this would have been the perfect collection to have wide brushes in. It made it apply so nice and even, and I feel like I got a really good magnetic effect with this one. I don't know if it was because I could do the quicker application and spend less time moving the polish around, but I really liked the magnetic effect of this one. I loved the duochrome shift in here. We're getting a purple to sort of maroon and gold at the most extreme color shift. I loved the pigment in this one. I loved how the sort of void part of the nail showed that holo sparkle so nicely in the the dark purple base. So I definitely recommend switching out your brushes if you have this collection and you have the wide brushes, because it made a huge difference for me. As always, we'll take a quick look at all 5 shades together just so you can sort of see the collection as a whole. You can see how the shades play with each other, how they look together, and I do feel like these, for the most part, would work really well if you wanted to do a skittle or use more than one of them together in a manicure. I think that all of the colors are going to look pretty good together. Now that we have looked at these new shades, I want to hear your thoughts on them, so leave a comment down below. Let me know which one is your favorite, which ones did you pick up, or did you grab the whole set with the collector's box? I think it's great that Holo Taco released this formula. I think it was something that they were missing from their lineup, but I do sort of feel like the magnetic pigment in these polishes just wasn't as strong as what I was expecting or what I'm maybe used to from other brands. I tried a few different methods of application, and it was just a little bit tough for me to get those designs to stay on the nail or even happen in the first place. So I'd love to hear your experiences with these polishes. Like I mentioned, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and even if you think you're subscribed, double check that button. Just make sure that you are, because you might just be getting suggested all the videos. I do think that's going to be it for this one today, though. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. That was right in my ear.